Hi, this is Chad from Blueberry Ridge Outdoors. We're going to put wheel spacers on my Polaris Ranger today. I have a 2020 Polaris Ranger 1000 Ultimate. We're going to be putting wheel spacers on it. Initially, when I put the rims and tires on it, with the offset I lost 4 inches on the width, and as heavy as these are, I don't want it to be tippy. So today we're going to put 2-inch wheel spacers all the way around and bring it back to stock width, which is 64 inches outside of rubber to outside of rubber. Alright, well, let's get in it and put her up on the hoist. Okay, these are Bora wheel spacers made in USA. I ordered them. They made them specifically for my machine. They're made to order. Good stuff. Okay, just for sheer speed, we're going to use the impact just to take them off. This will probably be the only time I use an impact on this video, just to take the tires and arms off. 19 millimeter. I'm going to put the nut in the socket first because it's way in there. Never reach it with your fingers. Just going to snug them up hand tight. And I made sure the sealing surface here, the mating surface, is clean and smooth. So we got no obstructions. Okay, we got it all hand tight. Now we're going to go get the torque wrench. Okay, as you can see, this is just going to turn all by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bar between here, rotate that down, that goes all the way through like that, and we're going to let it hit on the hoist here, and that will keep it from turning as I torque these down. So the manufacturers say 120 foot-pounds of torque. So I have my torque wrench set to 120 foot-pounds. I'm going to start with this one here. Just snug it up. Snug them all up. Go crisscross as much as you can with only 4. Okay, they're all snugged up. Now we're going to go to the torque setting. we go. Opposite. Go. Now we're going to go over them all again. Make sure we're at the right torque spec. There we go. Now it's time to put the wheel on. And use the same wrench and the same torque spec on the wheel. Of course we have to take this out of there. Wheel on. So obviously there's no way to stop this tire from turning now that I took that bar out, and there's no room for the bar behind it. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop it down just so it hits on the floor a little bit, and we're going to torque all four of these down to the same torque spec. 120 foot-pounds of torque is what this machine calls for. Just snugging all four up before I go to the torque spec. There, now they're all torqued to 120 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, that's all that's to it. Now we just got to do the other three. Okay, before we do this back tire, I just wanted to show you what I use for a rolling cart. Keep my tools organized and keep parts close. So I have a Tecton 1/2-inch torque wrench. Those are the other three spacers. Got my directions over there. So this cart works good. No matter what you're doing, you can roll it around the shop and keep all your stuff close. Now just for speed, I'm going to use the impact, but otherwise we just use a regular wrench. Tire off. So just to make sure that these mating surfaces are perfectly clean, there's some dust. I did have these all cleaned up, and I did have anti-seize on them so they didn't rust up through the years. But I am going to clean this one off with just a wire brush end on a cordless drill. And safety glasses and gloves. Okay, so now I'm going to get some anti-seize. I'm just going to put a very light coat of anti-seize on there. some reason either me or the future owner of this machine ever wants to take these off and go back to stock, it won't be a problem as long as this surface, even though those are powder coated, I don't like to take any chances. We drive through the mud and the water and dirt. I don't want anything getting in here. Just put a very, very light coat on. Thorough on all surfaces, but just a very light. You don't want to cake it on, that's for sure. And don't get any anti-season threads if you can help it. So again, Bora wheel spacers, made in USA. Put it onto your socket. It'll allow you to get in there decent. So as it said in the directions, if these protrude past, you'd have to cut the studs off, but obviously we don't have that problem. Probably because we're going with 2-inch and not 1-inch spacers. There's plenty of room in there. So if your threaded portion stuck past here, you'd have to take this back off, mark it, you'd have to cut them down and then reinstall this. Pretty simple and straightforward installation. Biggest thing is do not use an impact wrench on this. It has to be a torque wrench. It has to be torqued to specs, otherwise you will avoid the warranty. Bora warranties are for life, but it's got to be installed per their instructions. This one could be a little tougher to figure out. We're going to try that, see if that works. Again, we're just going to snug them up, opposite each other all the time. I always like to go over them a second time, just to make sure you got them torqued enough. Perfect. Now we gotta turn it, get our bar out. So far, these two, the tolerances are perfect. Everything fit nice and snug the way they should. Before we go completely down, I can snug these up. Just by hand. Anybody would like a cart like what I have, a rolling cart, I got mine at Harbor Freight. But you can find them all over. You can find them online too. But I like the plastic one, so if I spill oil or put metal on it, it doesn't get all scratched up. Plastic one seems to work good. It's pretty heavy duty. Spin these off of here. If you have any comments or helpful tips, things that I could do better, write it in on the comments down below. So these are the nuts that it came with, and I'm using to mount it with. Mount it onto here. And the original lug nuts I used to go on here then. Is there any other videos you'd like me to make, whether it be how to get the belt cover off, how to change a belt, how to put a clutch kit in it? What else have we done? If there's any other videos you'd like to see on the Polaris Ranger Northstar Ultimate, let me know. Comment below and I'll do my best to make a video for you. We're gonna have to lower this lower to the floor so this bar can't hit on the frame of the lift here. This bar isn't gonna work on this side because it won't hit on the frame. So we're gonna lower it down so it hits on the floor, and we'll do it a little lower. There we go. Again, just snug them up, opposite each other. And take them to the click. Three done, one more to go. Get one of those lights at Harbor Freight, get them on sale for $20 or $25. Normally $40. buff it all up real nice. So the mating surface is just right around the bolt here on the fronts. Where the backs, there's some machined area here all the way around. And the fronts there isn't, there's just these ears. So we're gonna put a very light coat of anti-seize on these. We're ready to install the wheel spacers. So there's to it. Because these are tapered and that's tapered, it centers itself. So now it's really snug on there. Now we're just gonna snug these up as much as we can by hand. I'm gonna try to fit that bar in here. All this is a pry bar, is literally all it is, out of my work toolbox. Okay. Snug it up a little bit more. Nice small steps to the torque setting. Go. Back this off, take the bar out. Time to put the tire on. Whenever I'm looking for products, I try to buy made in USA whenever I can. Obviously that's not always possible, but in this case it was, which makes my purchase that much easier, at least in my eyes. United States company. When you call, an American answers that can speak English. That's a bonus these days. And like I said, they come with a good warranty, and I'm sure they stand behind their products very well. After we do some trail rides, I will be doing a review on these, but I don't expect to have any issues. When I called and ordered them, they do a lot of these. So they were very helpful, very informative, put my mind at ease ordering them. All right, now that we have the wheel spacers on, let's check the width. Obviously, it should be exactly 4 inches wider, but let's put a tape measure on it. So the way I did is I sighted down the tire. Looks to be exactly 64 inches wide, right where the red is. I know it's hard to see, but if you look straight down the tire, it's right on that red mark. 64 inches. So right now it's back to stock width. It was 64 inches with the stock rims and tires. These rims and tires over here were on it. So with those rims and tires on it, it was 64 inches wide. Now we got it back to 64 inches wide again. So should be less tippy and should handle much better. So, okay, we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna show you the tools I used to install the Bora wheel spacers on my 2020 Polaris Ranger Northstar Ultimate. So, never to be forgotten, good pair of gloves, safety glasses, definitely. Most importantly, the directions, so we get the correct installation. I just use a regular pry bar. This light, this is a rechargeable light, a Bora brand. I got this at Harbor Freight. I have several of them. I love them. They're magnetic on the back. They stick good. Well worth the money. And then just a drill with a wire brush end on it to clean up the hubs before you install them. A torque wrench, this one just happens to be a Tecton, set to 120 foot-pounds of torque. A 19mm socket. I used an impact. You can use any impact. I just took the wheels off, obviously, with this. I didn't put them back on with this, but just to speed the process up. Some good Loctite. I just used the copper-based NICs. And then another 19mm just for hand use, so I don't have to take it on and off that wrench all the time. And that's pretty much wraps it up. This is Chad from Blueberry Ridge Outdoors. Hopefully this was informative. If you like this video, like and subscribe down below. And I appreciate any comments you would have. And this is Chad from Blueberry Ridge Outdoors signing off. See you next time. Bye.